Hey, 2024 is gone. It's over, right? But that's okay. You, like many other gym owners, probably had plans at the beginning of the year to really implement some marketing strategies. And I'm sure you had other goals and for growth for your business. And we get pulled in a lot of different directions. There's a lot of things that go on throughout our days. And sometimes we just feel a little overwhelmed. But also, sometimes we just don't know where to start. And because of that, we don't do anything. Well, we went ahead and curated some episodes over the past year from industry leaders and gym owners and even individuals who help other gym owners grow their businesses. And they've given some key insights and some marketing strategies that are really valuable. They're timeless and you can use them really at any point in time. But as you go into 2025 and you're kind of getting this game plan going again, I think this episode is one that really helps identify those key points that will help grow your business and actually get you on the launching pad starting in January of this upcoming year. My name is Michael Benso. I'm the co-founder of BizOps. I'm also the host of Sweat Success Podcast. And if you find this episode of value or you want to share it with someone, of course, I love that. But also, I would love a like and a subscribe. Those things are also awesome. But more importantly, if you see that there's some value, go ahead and go through some of the other stuff, because I know that we have a lot of episodes that are there and there's so many individuals that I wish I could have included in this episode that I didn't get a chance to. But this one specifically is about marketing. We have another one that we're going to be releasing that is more specific to sales, and then another one about operations. Please check back in, and again, like and subscribe so that way you get those notifications. I really appreciate everyone that's listened in to the podcast over the year. That's what keeps this thing going. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful holiday and a happy new year.
One of the most dangerous things you can do is be a business owner by yourself and be alone, because we're emotional creatures. I mean, it's like we're irrational at times. And sometimes our first thought is not our best thought. And if you don't have people around you to check that and to almost protect your business from you, that's where things can get. The whole point of having a trusted advisor in your corner is to walk through these types of scenarios and these situations, and to be that person that's going to challenge the way that you're thinking, because they want the best for your business. And no bias, there's no ego coming into it. It's strictly like, hey, let's look at the facts here and make sure that this is the best decision for you and your business. And that alone, I mean.
So there's different ways you can bracket it, and it's usually going to be bigger than one specific person. But again, counterintuitively, going deep on that one person and getting very clear on where your ideal client spends their time, the media they consume, the organizations they're affiliated with. It will help you understand where to market, because we want to fish where the fish are. And then by understanding their psychographics, if the first bucket is their demographics, by understanding their psychographics, we understand what are their wants, what are their long-term dreams, what are their short-term frustrations, and what are their long-term nightmares? What are the things that keep them awake at night that they're terrified about? And the clearer you get with that half, you will have information not so much about where they are, but about what's going on in their head, how to enter the conversation already going on in the prospect's mind, where you can speak specifically to the benefits that they want to address.
There's a line called clarity is kind that my friend Joe Hashi, who's our head business coach in the mastermind, he always talks about that. Clarity is kind. It's kind to people when you're clear on what you expect. It's kind to people when you reinforce when you inspect what you expect. You're being kind to people. And a lot of times people will think like, oh, I don't want to do that. They're going to think I'm checking up on them or anything. No, that's the kind and real thing to do as a business owner, to be able to do this thing. So you're 100% right. Communication is super important. We all need to be learning how to do it much better. It's a work in progress, for me. But even also in marketing too, from communication standpoint, I talk a lot about marketing, and if you confuse people, you're going to lose them. And so this communication piece in marketing, but even in leadership and management is huge.
So the database is your lifeblood. Even if you don't have a website up, even if you don't have an avatar, even if you don't want to go back to your previous clients, though, if I'm being honest, that's probably where I would start. That's exactly where you should start. Like, email those people and start making invitations. Take 2 weeks, get your database going, do these things. But then when you want to grow your audience, when you want to generate more leads, I think having an offer to go talk to strangers about where they can come and try out what you do is going to be very, very important. But technically, listen, if you don't have any bandwidth and you're a one human band and you don't even have the website and you want to go into the stopping shop of the grocery store, like start talking to strangers, that can work. It's going to be scary for some of you. I think there's some nuances to do that well, but there used to be a world where we didn't have digital marketing. And the world before digital marketing, unless you wanted to send a direct mail campaign, all you had was go and talk to strangers. So yes, if you need leads and money overnight, sure, there's a time and place for paid digital. You're going to have to do a lot of follow-up. You're going to need really strong automations. You need to make sure the offer is dialed in. But once you have your offer in place, start now to become 3 Mile famous. Go meet people in your community. And I promise you, this isn't going to change your business overnight, but if you really want the type of freedom we started our conversation talking about in 2 years, over time, you can't help but become well-known in your community, particularly if your goal is every time I see the person, I'm just going to be a source of light and fun and warmth and kindness. And they will also meaningfully impact your business within, I don't mean to make it sound like it's years, but you will start to impact your business over time.
Or you just throw money at ads and ad spend. Okay, be sure that you're really planning out your journey. How are you going to take care of your customers? What is it that they want? And start selling results and solutions, not just one member at a time. I think had I been focused on a true strategy, really nurturing and taking care of the clients that are coming in the door, how do we take care of them? How do we make sure that they are also getting results? It's your duty as a business owner, as a gym owner, right? You're providing this facility, this space where people come and exercise. I believe it's your duty. If you're going to put something up like that, make sure that you can support them.
Number one reason marketing exists is to increase revenue. Most people will get like 5 to 7 or 8 clients from digital ads, and they call it a loss. And the reason they call it a loss is because they didn't make $3,000 back that month. But if they begin the process of compounding, and if they got referrals from those 5 to 7 people, let's say 6 people you got 3 referrals from each one, you just got 18 referrals that you would have never gotten if you didn't run those paid ahead, got in the door, and next month, you just got an additional $900 towards your marketing spend. And now we go from there. If you want 50 members and you pay on average $250, that means you may want to spend $12,500. Holy shit, that's a lot. Well, it is a lot unless you learn the game of multiplication. Amateurs add, professionals multiply.
Baseline is podcasting creates conversations and conversations creates opportunities. Like I want to start a podcast. Which way would it be have the biggest lever? Well, can I increase the lifetime of a customer? Can I increase it through a podcast? Sure, I can actually have an internal podcast for my members. Then what I would ask myself is who has my audience that I can leverage it, right? So the podcast might actually not even be that much about gyms, right? It might have an element, it might have a segment to it about fitness and health, but I might actually create a podcast directed to the community that can increase the lifetime value of those customers. And at the same time, now you can use those resources and use them as promotional material, right? I can get clips, I can get special bits of information, I can send those right in social media, promote them as ads, and get new people, create awareness, bring them into the studio.
That's one of the things that I think people slip by is like, no, you got to go out. You can't just hide behind your desk and send out, emails, but really go out and like build relationships. Nothing beats human relationships and getting out there and being valuable to the community. And one of the things the tenets I try to live by is I always want to present more value than I take in return. When you have that kind of help first mentality, which I can't remember who coined that, but that's really powerful, and it's a really good way to build positive relationships within your community. And then you get the opportunity to be an advocate for better health and fitness within your community. And they're probably going to choose you over other competition because they have a little bit of trust in you already.